When Daimler opened its Mercedes-Benz assembly plant in Alabama, the workers operated in self-managing teams to build the vehicles. Because of this structure, an individual employee's specific tasks could change every single day. This creates an immediate operational paradox. An organization cannot effectively hire, train, or compensate a worker without first defining exactly what that person is expected to do. The mechanism used to resolve that paradox is the standard job description. Generating an accurate version of this document requires a rigid data gathering system, ensuring the text reflects the specific, measured demands of the role. Behind the text lies a complex framework of workflow charts, behavioral metrics, and numerical matrices. Extracting and measuring these specific duties is a formal procedure known as job analysis. The resulting document serves as the structural bedrock of the entire talent management ecosystem. Without accurate job analysis, every downstream organizational function, from initial recruitment to final payroll, breaks down. Before you can analyze a specific position, you have to map the broader context that surrounds it. This is workflow analysis, the detailed study of how a single unit of work travels from one job to the next across an entire process. Take the Atlantic American Insurance Company, for example. To improve efficiency, their HR department tracked the complete life cycle of a single piece of incoming mail, a customer's insurance claim. This chart maps their original flow, revealing a sequence of isolated manual steps. A raw claim moved slowly through 4 separate employees just for mail opening and individual date stamping. The solution was to apply business process reengineering. They collapsed the multiple manual sorting notes into a single processing point, replacing 3 mail openers with an automated machine and deploying software to add barcodes instantly. Modifying workflows naturally forces job redesign. When you assign workers additional same-level activities to handle the new flow, that is job enlargement. When you redesign a role to increase an employee's authority and responsibility over the process, it becomes job enrichment. To prevent fatigue in these newly specialized roles, companies often deploy job rotation, systematically moving workers from one position to another. Defining the parameters of a job is a useless exercise if the system it exists within is flawed. Workflow optimization must always precede job analysis. Once the workflow is optimized, the organization actually collects the job data from the workforce. The primary methods are individual interviews, direct workplace observation, and maintaining daily participant logs. To capture this subjective data at scale, HR departments frequently distribute a standard job analysis questionnaire. The document relies on open text fields where employees accurately self-report their specific daily tasks and the percentage of time spent on each. This qualitative approach has a severe vulnerability: information distortion. Because job analysis frequently precedes changes to pay rates, employees view the process as directly linked to their compensation. They have a strong incentive to inflate ability-based statements and exaggerate their responsibilities. This chart compares actual time spent on tasks versus reported time. There is consistently a significant gap between the reality of a worker's day and their exaggerated self-reported data. There is a second major vulnerability: reactivity. Even direct observation is flawed. Workers naturally alter their baseline behavior and work patterns simply because they know a manager is watching them. Qualitative methods yield rich, highly descriptive details about a worker's day, but they lack the objective standardization needed to govern corporate policy. Human subjectivity is inherently fluid and biased. Because of this, relying on qualitative data alone is structurally and legally insufficient to justify company-wide compensation scales. To comply with equal employment opportunity laws and ensure precise pay equality, organizations must translate messy human behavior into hard, quantifiable metrics. Tools like the Position Analysis Questionnaire accomplish this by grading every job against a highly structured 194-item scale. The foundational framework for this translation was developed by the Department of Labor. This matrix maps worker functions across 3 categories: data, people, and things. Every task gets an importance rating. Lower numbers represent higher complexity. Applying this matrix to a real-world role, like a psychiatric aide, generates a functional code. The aide scores a 1 in data for coordinating information, a 7 in people for serving patients, and a 5 in things for tending equipment. Reducing complex, multifaceted jobs to a simple three-digit score gives HR departments the mathematical leverage to rank, classify, and compare vastly different roles across an organization. The U.S. Navy utilized the modern internet-based evolution of this framework, the ONET system, to perform job analysis across its fleet. This interface shows the ONET Generalized Work Activities list, categorizing work into standardized behaviors like getting information. Instead of an analyst shadowing a sailor, personnel simply selected these broad categories and mapped their highly specific shipboard duties directly to them. Through the application of these rigid quantitative matrices, the unpredictable nature of human labor is finally locked down into measurable, comparable data. When you combine the qualitative insights from the workflow charts and questionnaires with the rigid quantitative scores from the DOL matrices, the true structure of a role emerges. The fragmented data points reconstruct, slotting perfectly into the formal sections of the final document, the specific responsibilities, the legal FLSA status, and the required specifications. This synthesis yields two exact outputs: the job description, which defines the boundaries of the work itself, and the job specification, which defines the precise traits of the worker required to execute it. Historically, managers viewed human resources as a sequence of isolated stepwise functions: recruit, then train, then appraise. That view is obsolete. Modern organizations operate on the philosophy of talent management, a holistic, integrated, and goal-oriented process. In this ecosystem, the finalized job analysis sits at the absolute center of the organization's capabilities. As a single source of truth, it dynamically drives interconnected decisions across all branches of HR simultaneously, ensuring that the profile used to recruit an applicant is the exact same profile used to train and compensate them. Job analysis provides the analytical framework that aligns individual human capability with a company's broader strategic goals.